What's going on, YouTube? We're back at it again for another Back for Blood deck build, and today we're going to be talking about the Healer deck. Essentially one of the decks that you're going to guaranteed need one member of your team running at all times during the Veteran and Nightmare difficulties. Obviously the damage is higher, the friendly fire is higher, and you're going to have a lot more trauma damage, so you're going to need to help mitigate that. Now with this deck there are certain cards that are further down the supply line that you may not have yet. So I'll show you which ones those are and show you what you can replace them with certain cards that you more than likely have at the time being, but later on this will be something that you'll strive for. Now I know some people out there essentially just want the deck itself, try to copy and paste it and use it for themselves, comprehend how it is. So go down slowly, show you each one of the cards, and I'll also have a list of them down in the description in the order with names as well. But now I'll go through and explain what each card does, why it's in the order it is, and how exactly you're going to utilize it during the runs that you'll be making with some friends. Now, Medical Professional is going to be the first card. First aids and defibrillators also recover 15 trauma damage and 1 extra life. Now, why this is so good is the simple fact that first aid kits are the only way to, it's the only way to take off trauma damage in the first place, so adding another 15 trauma damage taken off is going to be perfect for any of your healing needs, especially at the beginning of missions, in the middle of runs. Some people have trauma damage, so this is one way to mitigate that. And at the same time, adding an extra life. Say you just revived somebody and that was their last time they could go down before they just drop dead. The next time they lose all their health, this is one of those moments where you use a first aid kit, add an extra life to them, or even if you just defibbed them, they'll have another additional moment to go down. Now, Field Surgeon, obviously for the 60% healing efficiency, you want the most bang for your buck for all your healing supplies. Now, it does come with a 50% use speed negative, but we'll have another card down the line that's going to help mitigate that. Miraculous Recovery. This is one of those cards that is definitely worthwhile early on because 25% chance to add 100% increased effect. Say you're in the middle of a run, you're low on medical supplies, you maybe only have a bandage for somebody. It could turn into something that heals them from 10 health all the way to full health instead of just having that small, minuscule amount from a band-aid. Now, Shoulder Bag, for obvious reasons, you want more medical supplies through certain runs. Damage is going to be higher, people are going to get hurt. Some, moments where Horde or Special Infected get the better of you, you're going to need a lot more health to carry on through the mission. Now, you may argue that the 10% damage dealt, not exactly something you want, but for the most part you're going to have somebody else that's going to be doing the DPS. This is a definite support build. You're all about healing, you're not about the damage. You're not going to be really going after the Special Infected, and with this 10% negative, it's not going to hurt you when it comes to the regular infected. You'll still be able to mow them down, clear a path for your own, and help your teammates with that. Now, Support Scavenger, for obvious reasons, you want more medical supplies along the runs and the missions. You obviously don't have the buy station in the middle of the run. So this is going to be one of those moments where, say you're running low on some healing products, you'll find some more along the way. It's just going to help you push forward or maintain high health on all your teammates as well as yourself. Now, Multi-Use, this is one of those cards that's going to mitigate that negative 50 to use speed, and why this is so important as well and essential to the deck is the simple fact that as soon as you start healing someone, you'll not only slow yourself but slow them as well. So the faster you can apply that, the better off you're going to be, moving forward instead of getting caught up maybe with a horde coming, or say they're already in the midst of a horde about to die. You want to be able to quickly heal them before they get incapacitated and be able to push through and clear out. Now, Experienced EMT, this is a card that some people may argue should be higher on the list, but during the starting of these runs, it's not going to be that important. But at the same time, if you feel it's necessary, you could obviously choose it and change it up to the top. And this is one of those cards that you may have early on. Medical Professional will be one of those cards that you may not have just yet. So I'd say if you don't have Medical Professional, put this Experienced EMT at the top. Because essentially what this is going to do is going to give every person you heal on your team an additional 20% to their maximum health. So even if they have trauma damage and certain other things, you're going to boost their health bar or further than what it was before, which in some moments, even with their trauma damage, could equal out to the max health that they had before that, and then later on be able to heal up that trauma damage later on with med kits you may find later on or something else, or one of the healing stations. Now, EMT Bag, obviously we're just trying to make more of that healing efficiency, more bigger bang for your buck when it comes to your healing supplies. Stamina efficiency, Not too bad at this time. There are some cards that you could help mitigate that, but it's not going to affect you in that big a way. Combat Medic, another one of those use speeds, help you quickly apply those medical supplies, and at the same time, heals a teammate for an additional 20 health when it comes to reviving them. So say, you know, every time you revive somebody they already have low health, this is just going to give them that little bit of extra health, so in case you're surrounded by a horde or hordes incoming in one of those moments, it's not going to be an instant down right after. Fanny pack, again, you want more medical supplies, you want to add to that just in case you're in the middle of a run. Say you have 3 health kits and you find another health kit, it's a lot better to keep that one, keep it going forward, and save money at that next buy station instead of having to constantly buy more supplies at the start of each run. Rousing speech, for obvious reasons, 225% of your revive speed. You want to be able to pick up people a lot quicker, and you want to be able to be the person to pick them up. Obviously, if you got DPS out there, you don't want them stopping, laying down the fire on the special infected or the hordes coming. You want to be that person that's constantly picking them up, and a lot faster than they would at the same point, instead of getting overwhelmed. And at the same point, 20% reduced incapacitation trauma. Obviously, once you get incapacitated, you're going to take some trauma damage from that, so this is going to reduce the amount that you'll have when coming back up. Now, Copper Scavenger, this is a big one. Obviously, once you get to the buy stations, you're going to be buying up a lot of the medical supplies, especially early on in the game. So you'll start to find that, yeah, I'm going to need a lot more copper. You may be asking some of your friends for some of their copper in order to maintain a full stock of these medical supplies. And this will just help you and your team to have that copper supply for, say, you know, pipe bombs or anything else as well. Smelling salts, just another added benefit to revive speed. It's not going to be as fast as you think when it comes to the 200 and 100, but it's going to be a lot faster than it was before. Run like hell, 15% to movement speed. Don't worry about the accuracy reduced. This is one of those cards that works in pair with the evasive action. That's going to, when you take a hit, 20% more move speed. So say you have one of those moments where the horde's oncoming, you see one of your teammates is getting pretty low on health, and they're a little bit of a distance from you, you'll be able to move through the crowd, get to them before they get incapacitated, and heal them quickly. That's one of those clutch moments when it comes to the healers. Now, at the same time, maybe you don't exactly like these cards. These could be replaced by other healing cards, but when it comes down to getting to the bottom of this list, obviously, by that point, whatever healing cards you apply to this probably aren't going to do much more than what you already have above. So this is going to be one of those moments that's kind of at that make or break final push. You're at the final mission of the act. Just be able to finally make that clutch moment and secure the successful win instead of having just one DPS or 2 people go incapacitated when you could have moved over and healed them just before. It's one of kind of a situational moment, but in the moments that it does succeed, it really greatly helps. Now, arguably, whatever weapon you choose, you know, it's up to whatever your teammates are using. You could be an SMG, it could be an AR, it could be whatever you'd like with this build. Arguably, you're just going to use it for your own self-defense and kind of pick off some of the regular infected. You're not really going for the special infected unless that's the only one out there. Lay a little down with them. But at the same point, it's up to you and what's going to conserve on the ammo supply between your teammates. When it comes down to which cleaner you're going to use, there's one of 2 arguably that could be used, but I will say go with Doc because she has a free heal right off the bat for each one of your teammates during each run that gives 25 health once per life, and working in pair with that miraculous the miraculous card that does the possibility of 100% more increased healing effect. It will work with this, so instead of just 25 as a free heal, it could be 50. At the same point, she has 20% healing efficiency, just adding to more of that healing that you're doing. And one of the biggest team effects is 25% team trauma resistance. This is huge for your team, especially in harder difficulties, considering the trauma can be the one thing that could end up deterring you from possibly making it through the run. It could be that thing that ultimately all your teammates are so high on trauma, you'll just be falling over left and right. Doesn't take much just to drop you, especially with some of these hordes and some of the way these special infected spawn. Sometimes they'll drop right on you. It can be a real pear-shaped moment. Now, some people may want to go for Mom because she has one instant revive teammate per level, but that's only one, and it's somewhat situational. And arguably, the fact that she has one plus to the support inventory, some could say that's better, but we're already carrying four with the deck that we built, and then one team extra life. We're pretty much covering that with the medical professional card. Some people, maybe if you want two healers in your build, arguably I'd probably do that, kind of work them in pair. But for right now, I say Doc is the one cleanser or cleaner that you're going to want to go for. And for every one of your medical supply line cards, you're going to want to go through this middle tree. This is going to be the one that's going to give you all these medical cards that you're seeing inside of this deck. The further you go down it, the more you're going to get out of it. And at the same point, you'll go through this bottom supply line probably 3 times to get that 75% use speed. So remember that, go through this a couple of times. And once you get that 75% use speed, just quit going through it. You won't need any more out of this unless you want to just progress further and you're just trying to unlock all the cards. But for the most part, if you're looking for all your healing cards, they're going to be in that middle supply line right there. All right, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this has helped you out. Hopefully this is a deck that you're going to be running, and hopefully giving you that success through Veteran and pushing into Nightmare. I know I'll be doing that soon. I'll have some more deck builds coming into the future, so like and subscribe if you'd like to. And obviously if you have any questions about this deck or how some of these cards will work or what you would want to replace them with, just leave a comment down below, or I'll have a link in the description of my Twitch. Come in and ask me any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Happy hunting on those zombies. Hopefully you make it through your runs. Have a good one, guys.